begin with breaking news in the case of a missing 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard from Lompoc.
ABC and NBC News are reporting that after a 2-month search, Melodee's body has been found and that her mother, Ashlee Buzzard, was taken into custody early this morning. The Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department has not confirmed any information, but they are holding a news conference this afternoon saying that they will be providing significant developments in the case.
Rest in peace, Melodee Buzzard. Just horrifying case. It's making people sick. A mother taking the life of her own daughter, innocent 9-year-old girl. And there's a lot about this case with the latest updates that is just making zero sense. And I really cannot understand why it seems the prosecution is taking mercy on this mother who is a child killer. It makes no sense at all. It's infuriating. It's got everyone all the way just messed up trying to understand this. These kind of cases are just pure evil. And with some of this just odd stuff that's going on in court that no one can make heads or tails of, it's like the system is dropping the ball 2 times, as you're going to see as we get into this update. As she appeared in court, the system had already let down this girl, and in some ways many are saying they're responsible for her death.
I'm Crystal Bermudez here at the Santa Maria courthouse, where a Lompoc mother charged with the murder of her daughter faces a judge for the first time in the case. I was inside the courtroom as the prosecutor announced the sentence they'll be seeking.
We're entering a not guilty plea. Oh, okay. Not guilty plea is entered.
Friday's arraignment marked a first court appearance and a heavy moment for the family of 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard.
I'm a mother, I'm a grandma. How can you do that to a baby?
Melodee's paternal grandmother, Lily Dennis, was in the courtroom as Ashlee Buzzard was arraigned and entered a not guilty plea to first-degree murder, a charge prosecutors say involves intent and premeditation.
You're charged in a felony complaint with first-degree murder.
The case also includes a special circumstance allegation, which can increase the severity of the sentence if proven, says Buzzard's public defender, Adrian Galvan.
The lying in wait is a special circumstance that is attached to a homicide. It's a circumstance and aggravation that enhances punishment.
Melodee's paternal uncle, Marvin Meza, shared with me Melodee lived with him and his wife for a period of time.
We actually had custody of her back in 2020, my wife and I, and she was happy. She loved life. She was a lot like her dad.
He tells me he believes the system failed Melodee.
To my knowledge, she lost her 3 times, and she went back with her every time. So the system needs to take in some human element. Why or what? Why a child should go back with the mom.
With tears in her eyes, Buzzard's eldest daughter sat in the audience alongside family. At the request of the defense, a temporary gag order was placed on law enforcement, limiting anyone with the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office from making further public statements until at least January 7th.
At the press conference, the Sheriff, Bill Brown, made a couple statements. From the defense's perspective, the statements directly impacted Ashlee Buzzard's presumption of innocence and the possibility of fair and impartial jurors being affected in this county.
Galvan says they'll investigate every angle from the defense side.
We will prepare any and all defenses for Ashlee Buzzard.
Meanwhile, Melodee's family remains confused in the midst of grief.
The prosecution stating that they're not going to seek the death penalty. I don't understand why.
Buzzard is scheduled to return to court January 7th for a preliminary hearing setting. I'll be in the courtroom in Lompoc bringing you the latest developments on that day. In Santa Maria, Crystal Bermudez, KSBY News.
So 2 family members in there, the grandmother just beside herself. Like I was saying in court, people literally were just sick, disturbed. Pure evil, pure evil. I always say, everyone, be careful. The world is ever changing, but there is just demons out there, and that's a fact. And this is an example of that evil. I'm not trying to fear monger anyone, just everyone. Be careful, stay focused, and watch for the demons, straight up. But we also saw her uncle on there, and you heard what he said. They had custody of this little girl back in 2020. Everything was great. She loved life, like he was saying, a lot like her father, and we see what her mother's like. You know, if you're not aware of everything, this girl went missing in October, and as you heard, her mom is in custody for taking her life, and she did it by shooting the child. There's ballistic tests, apologies, that have been reported, as well as DNA tests, which confirmed the remains of this little girl, Melodee Buzzard. Once again, rest in peace to her. Ashlee Buzzard, the mother who took her on this bizarre road trip to Nebraska and back, wore a wig. As you can see, she disguised her appearance and had the child hoodied up, trying to hide her from surveillance. And the families, as they were talking about, once again, how the system let them down, kept returning the child to the mother. The system has got to do better. I keep speaking about this. There's no excuse for this kind of stuff. I just can't understand it, how CPS, social workers and such, who have such an important job keeping the youth safe. It's like, how is they have such a lackadaisical system that bullshit like this happens? I mean, obviously there's no way they can tell exactly what's going to happen, but it's clear if she's taken away from the mother numerous times. And we hear too, other family members voiced all kinds of concerns about the child. And before she went missing, after she went missing, they just all knew and spoke up. And as always, if some bad shit's going on, speak up, report it, make sure you're heard. And that's what's messed up, is they all did, but she still was with her mother, and this horrible demonry happened. And as I stated, you see that she had the kid hoodied up and was, disguising her from surveillance cameras. The family that was all like, man, this guy's got to do something. She doesn't need to be with the mother. They said that she tried to keep her from the world. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm guessing, obviously, maybe not allowing family to see her, because the family was already on her ass about her being a terrible, neglectful mother. And they also just said her mental health situation was out of control. It was just very, very concerning. I'm guessing she just didn't let people see the child, and, they tried everything they could, and the system let them down. And that's just absolutely heartbreaking and heart-wrenching to hear. And as I stated, how does this happen? How do we hear of these cases over and over again where shitty social workers drop the ball and a child's life is lost from it, or a child is hurt? It just should not happen. And this is something I've been speaking out a lot about, the system, who is supposed to watch out for the youth and take care of them and help out families so often in so many ways that I'm not going to elaborate all on this video. It just happens way too much, and it's just not right. And I'm not just hearing something off the news and saying that. This is a for real problem, and it's happening on multiple levels within the system. Leave it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Obviously, this is a horrific, terrible thing, and we don't like it at all. But let's get this out there more algorithmically. And again, let me know your thoughts about the system, and if you've seen it firsthand yourself, just drop the ball and not do its job. But getting on to the other part of this that makes absolutely zero sense, like you heard the uncle talking about, why are they showing her mercy? How is it her first court appearance? And they're saying there's special circumstances to the crime beyond just simple, or not simple, beyond premeditation. And then they're going to just, at the first court appearance, say that they're not speaking. seeking, the death penalty. Like, how is that? I just can't understand it at all. I mean, I know that's a controversial thing. Some people feel differently about it, but it is a real penalty with crime and punishment. And for this sick, twisted crime, they're showing her mercy, essentially, or not essentially, is what they're doing. And I just can't quite understand it. But then you hear about that gag order, about law enforcement speaking about the case, and in some way I was a bit confused by that comment. If you can make any sense of that it was tied to her presumed innocence or something. Did the system let this little girl down in three ways? You know what I mean? Did they keep giving her back to her mother and not listen to the concerned family members? Are the prosecutors already not seeking the harshest punishment for the crime before the case even gets fully going? Shot her little girl, killed her. And is it tied to some kind of mistake law enforcement made speaking to the press or something like that? So is law enforcement has messed up as well? Like, I don't know. I just don't understand this. And I feel that that's just extremely bizarre that at the arraignment that they're taking that off the table. I just don't get it. But those are the updates. I thought I was seeing a misprint when I seen that until I seen multiple reports. I was like, there's just no way at an arraignment they're talking about that kind of stuff. That stuff down the road. But no, it's a fact, and I'm lost. And that's something that I'm definitely going to be paying attention to as we file this case. Once again, subscribe and all that for updates. Leave all your thoughts. And let me know if you can make heads or tails of it. But the system just has to do better. I was just talking about that in a previous video on a different level, right? With all this technology, the way crime is fought and could be fought and should be fought with all these. It's a whole nother thing. Go to my most recent short about an Amber Alert where, thank goodness, a child was rescued. But it's a whole nother story that I get into on that one. It's like these missing persons case could be cut down on so much if technology was really used to its fullest potential. But, you know, they deem it's used sometimes only for national security. It's like, what about everyday citizens, families? Why can't technology be utilized more? You know, we live in the age of surveillance and cameras everywhere, and it's just not cutting into crime and missing persons case and stuff like that, and the horrible trafficking epidemic that's going on in this country. That's another big way Homeland Security is letting down families. It's just not right. But that's all I have on this video. Leave it all in the comments once again, and I will get with you guys on the next video. How can they show this demon mercy? Something don't add up.